Hi! In this tutorial, you will learn how to create a SOAP in Pega. To do so, we are going to use the Service Creation Wizard. In Dev Studio, click on Configure Integration, create SOAP Integration. It will open up the wizard. The first step is to provide the WSDL URL. We click on Next, and it will show the service name, port name, and endpoint. It will give us the option to test and select the operation name. When we finish testing, we click on Next. Then it will show the integration layer. It will show the name of the integration, the class, and the context there, where we can define the class where this integration will be created, as well as the rule sets. We can click on Preview Records to check the rules that the wizard will be creating for the integration. It will show all the information in a modal, and it will show the record type and the number of records. We click Create, and it shows an error. When we are creating a SOAP service, it seems that the wizard doesn't create the class automatically, and for that reason, we are getting an error when creating the service. Now we create the class where all the assets that this service needs will be referenced. As a best practice, on the History tab, explain what the class will be used for. This helps the other devs to have more knowledge about what the rule is doing. We change the name and the parent class for the service, and type the class that we just create. Then we click on Create, and this time the SOAP connector was created. It will show all the information about it: the class, the rule set, the WSDL, and the data sources created. At this point, if you made a mistake, you can click on Undo the generation, and all the rules and data will be deleted from the system. We click on Close. We go to the class where we create the integration. Click on Calculator, then click on Integration Connectors and Connect SOAP, and there it will show all the connectors created, one for each operation. We can open a connector rule, verify all the information about the endpoint, and error handling, processing options, and simulations will be configured from here. We can test a connection to the external service by clicking on Test Connectivity. It will show all the information about the connection, and if there is any error, you'll be able to check it here. It will show the components tested. If there is any error, you will be able to find it on the debug information. There are tabs that shows all the components that the connector has. You can check the request and response parameters. And if we open a rule under Map Form Key, you can find the XML stream of the properties needed for the request. You can add properties or nodes as if needed. Now, we need to create a data page that will call the connector. First, we are going to create the class and the data layer for our application. We need that to create the data page and response data transform and properties that we may need to map the response. As a best practice, we always fill the description and usage on the History tab. That will help other developers the meaning of the rule, what the rule does, and where it's used. Then we create the data page. Then in the source of the data page, we select the connector. Then on the type, we select SOAP. Then on the name, we select add. We are going to make the example as add. Then you can try doing it with the others operations. And let me know in the comments if you find any issues creating it. Then we need to create the request data transform. For this data transform, you'll need to pass two parameters, int A and int B. It is important to define these parameters in the request data transform and in the data page. Then we map the two variables that we need to make this service work, and we define the parameters in the data page. For the response data transform, Pega creates a boilerplate data transform, but you can modify it as per request. I found an issue every time that the system returns a response in a page. You have to create the property where you will map the data, and then map one-to-one the values. If you notice that after running the data page, the response value wasn't mapped, it was because that one-to-one set was missing. We add the property that we want to map. This property needs to be created on the data class as the data page because it's not part of the integration layer. We made the one-to-one set. Choose as target the property that we just create again as a source the property the service returns.
Now we have a full functional SOAP integration where we send a request, the external system process the request, and then map and outbound data. Pega get the data, and map this data to the clipboard any case where this service is invoked. Thanks for watching if you get this far. Please subscribe and like the video. Please leave any comments if you need help completing this tutorial. You can find more tutorials on my blog, https://www.pegasandbox.com.